what I did was I put myself in a position where if I failed, I would look stupid. When I was in high school, I made the decision to try starting a clothing brand. This was after I had already tried drop shipping, after I had already tried crypto, NFTs, basically every business model you could ever think of. Anyways, this is like my junior year of high school. I made a promise to myself that when starting this clothing brand, I was going to start posting content online to try to gain traction and build traffic towards that clothing brand. And while I was doing that, I knew that every single person going to my school would be watching these corny videos that I was posting online that were getting 200 views. I knew that I would put myself in a position where if I gave up on this clothing brand, I would look like a fucking clown. So what I did was I put myself in a position where if I failed, I would look stupid. So doing that, and through the process of doing that, I knew, if I give up, I fail, I look stupid. Because in the end of the day, the only way you can truly fail is if you give up. Every single failure is just an opportunity for you to continue to learn. But anyways, back to my point. With me putting myself in a position where I was putting my back against the wall, deciding to post content online for my whole high school to see, I knew that there was no other option but to make it work. And I also knew that there was no other option for me rather than to stop giving a fuck about other people's opinions. Because regardless, I was going to go to school, people were going to look at me different, people were probably going to talk shit behind my back, and they did. Nobody really ever said anything to my face because nobody had the balls to. But regardless, I still knew what was going on behind my back. So I had to make the decision to stop giving a fuck. And that is exactly what I did. And long story short, you guys have already heard this enough, but my clothing brand led to me learning how to run ads for my own clothing brand. I ended up scaling my clothing brand to multiple six figures and learned the skill of running paid ads, which then I went and signed a couple clients to run ads for, and that led my journey of freelance brand scaling and now running an agency that makes the money it makes. But again, I want to reiterate the fact that if I didn't make that decision, that when I was going to start that clothing brand, to start posting content and put myself in a position where my kind of reputation and my coolness was on the line, and if I simply with that didn't stop giving a fuck, I wouldn't be where I am today.